Hello, Stack Collectors. Welcome back to the channel. Doug with Stacking Investments here. Today's video, I'm going to do a response from a comment I left on another channel. Um, Basically, it's not another stacking channel, but it has to do with some non-sport card collecting and sport card collecting. But the principles still apply over here in the stacking and collecting community. It's someone might deem it as a financial advice or whatever, but if that's the way you want to view it, that's not what it is. It's actually more common knowledge, common sense, prerequisite before you actually get into investing 101. And just to clarify a few things about my channel, I started with the name Stacking Perpetrator, and I did that more or less as a joke. The perpetrator part was to insinuate that yes, I was guilty of investing in precious metals and coin collecting, which is something that we know the big banks and your JP Morgans and all that and the powers to be just don't want you doing that because it preserves your wealth. So, and then there are some people that say it's a bad investment, whatever, yada yada yada. Everybody does their own thing. But I just want to clear up a few things on that. And then the reason I changed to Stacking Investments here recently is because I was getting more serious, and I also wanted to branch out and show things, other collectibles like these Rip-A-Verse Dukemon cards that I kind of got into, and if I can scroll down, some other collectibles that I'm getting, like the pins, the dice, some other stuff, selling stuff at the flea market, Lionel trains. I had the stamps, which some of y'all purchased. I got into mop handles and ammo cans, which are selling really good. Stuff that I'm doing for short-term investments, which would be a year or less. Like the McCoy cookie jar, these little steins, just different collectibles all around. Yes, I did get into some ball cards. I'm going to make this a two-part video, but you can go through. I got various topics. Most of it's coin collecting. I switched from silver stacking over to coin collecting, but got some glassware there. But that's what I mainly started to, switched over for, so I could be more serious in everything, because I'm fixing to get into some other ventures and stuff. But let me get over to this other channel, and this guy here, I'm gonna just, I'm not gonna butcher that, so I'm just gonna use the letters UMU. He's been slamming in a lot of videos on this guy Rudy, who has a channel called Alpha Investments. And Alpha Investments, the guy is like massively invested with millions of dollars in Magic the Gathering. It's a card game started in the early 90s, just celebrated its 30th anniversary, so it's been around for a while. It's highly popular and everything. And this guy, I guess he doesn't invest much into that, but he's more into the Pokemon cards, which is kind of a game kind of similar to the Magic Gathering. I haven't played either game. I know absolutely nothing about the games, but they are popular. And from what I gather with this guy's videos, I've watched several of them. I have not subscribed, but he's slamming on some big channels as if they were pump and dumps, and everything, and it's almost like he's mad at them because the way the market has turned and the value of those cards is starting to plummet on some of them, and it seems like he's kind of not happy with his decision to invest in it. And also, I have a few things highlighted here. Let me get down to, because I want to eliminate something from his reply, because he slams against his commenters and everything. And this lady here asked, why is this guy so obsessed with Rudy, though? It's becoming a bit sad. Every video is focused on what somebody else is doing. And I agree with this poster here, but his reply back was about, they only got 6 subscribers, and talking about his cat has 100 times the views that her cats do, and telling her to do better. So he's slamming on somebody who's disagreeing with him, which I find ironic, because he talks about channels that are trying to cancel him out because he doesn't agree with what they say. So I'm going to point this out now in case he does watch this video for my response, that yes, I only have just under 600 subscribers. I am nowhere near your 27.5K. Something you should know is I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. I'm secure with that. I'm happy with that. I'm not interested in being up here in these numbers. I could care less. My videos are about what I do, how I collect. If somebody learns something or they take something away, hey, I'm all happy for that. I know some channels have started album collections because they saw my videos and they've started album collections. Hey, that's great. That's great. I'm happy about that. I'm secure about that. But let's look at a couple other responses. Somebody said, recently found out channel again. When are you doing another live stream? And he slams back against Alpha Investments again, and pretty much slamming against all the viewers that Alpha Investment has by his comment here. And then somebody else said they're disappointed that he's decided not to make any more live streams. And they said, personally speaking, they enjoy it, look forward to the daily streams. And he slams back again at Rudy and Rudy's followers. And it's like, dude, get a thick skin. You're going to have, your channel's so big, you're going to have haters. I mean, I have some people that chime in on a couple of my videos that nitpick some of the coins that I purchase or some things that I purchase. And it's like, hey, just say thank you for your input and move on. That's all you got to do. But let's get to the response. I'm in this 8 minutes already. I'm going to make this a 2-part video. So I'm going to start on this because I'm using my screen capture feature here to do this part, and then part 2 I'll be at my area to show some other stuff and give final thoughts and everything. But my response to his video here, where he's basically slamming against Rudy, I responded that it's time people stop blaming others and take responsibility for their own action. One can do absolute 100% research before buying into an investment, and they'll still lose their ass in the end. If one doesn't understand the market can turn down on any collectible, then one should not invest in collectibles. Just enjoy it as a hobby. Well, what are your collectibles? The cardboard, as Rudy over at Alpha Investments calls it, is cardboard. He's investing in cardboard. That your sports cards, the Magic cards, the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, the Pokemon cards, all of that. But it doesn't just apply to those cards. It can apply to like our coin collecting, our silver stacks, the vintage silver. Market can downturn at any time. It can go up, everybody's all happy. When it turns down, everybody's sad. I've seen channels within our own stacking community do videos this year regretting the purchases they made because of the high premiums that we're having to pay. Well, if you're gonna, that's why you got to do. You can't blame others, which it sounds like this is what this guy's doing because he sees others having success, and then he was okay with throwing tons of money at things, but then when the market turns and the bottom falls out and the prices of the cards start going down to where it's not profitable anymore, it seems like this guy and a bunch of other people are wanting to slam those big channels as if they're pumping and dumping. And that's what I was trying to point out. It's not financial advice. It's freaking common sense, common knowledge. Look at, when you go to invest, when you see some investment thing come up, they do the spiel at the end. Look at the prospectus, do your research, understand what you're investing in before you lay down the first dollar. If you haven't done all that and you don't understand it, then you should not be, if you throw a bunch of money at it and you don't understand it, and you don't understand the simple fact that the market can take a nosedive at any time on any kind of collectible. Doesn't matter what it is, glassware, steins, Lionel trains, antiques, anything that's collectible can take a nosedive, and people lose interest in it. Take a nosedive at any time for any reason. If you don't understand that, you should not be investing. I mean, that's just common sense. And his reply was, it sounds like I lose money. He said, sounds like you lose money. Actually, no, I'm not losing money. Stuff I'm showing you in my videos, I'm actually making money on. The stuff I'm investing in and flipping short term, I'm making anywhere from a 68% to sometimes over 300% return on my investment. It takes a little bit of effort. Yeah, I got to go out to the flea market, or I got to go online, or I gotta sell it somehow. But I think what this guy's missing, and he's slamming on this channel here, Alpha Investments. Now, this guy's whole premise of his channel is, this guy's millions of dollars invested into Magic the Gathering, the card game itself. He's into the Pokemon. He's into MetaZoo. There's other stuff. You just have to watch. He's got warehouses with pallets and pallets and pallets. The stuff stacked from the floor to the ceiling in his warehouses. You just have to, watch a few videos. But what I want to point out to this UMU channel is, I'm not defending Alpha Investments. I'm not saying he's not pumping. I'm not saying, he's doing the pump and dump. I'm not saying, I'm looking beyond the cards with what Rudy talks about. If you listen to this guy, because he used to work for a financial investment firm, he's got a degree in it. He says that, do I know for sure? No. But I listen to his presentations and I take the cards out of it, because a lot of what he talks about can be applied to any other collectible out on the market in one way or another. But what I want to point out to this UMU guy, when you're listening to Rudy on this channel, this bookcase background that he has, that he starts a lot of his videos with when he's talking about things and everything, this changes. This changes. I don't know if you have, you're slamming on Rudy's channel and everything, so obviously you've watched it because you're slamming on him, and you've slammed on him many times from the videos I've watched of yours. But one thing Are you not paying attention to this back here? This is at the beginning of his video, of a lot of his videos. What do we see here? We see graded comic books. Graded comic books. Granted, they're hidden behind this other stuff, but that looks like 9.8s. Have no idea what the titles are. A comic book collector might be able to recognize that comic right there just by the little bit that's showing. But there's 2 comic books right there. So we know Rudy has invested in some comic books. He's also invested in paper currency, our paper currency, United States paper currency. And judging by the grades and the bill types that he has on these 3 here, and there's a more recent video where he has another one where this Funko thing is right here. There's another bill that he's added to it. So there's 3 in this photo, in this beginning of this video. These are not cheap notes, especially with those grades. So he's diversifying. He's not 100% just in the cardboard. He's diversifying. He's got the comic books over here. He's investing in currency. He talks about he invests in currency and he knows nothing about it, but it's something he's investing in. He's diversifying. And that's something that everybody needs. That's common sense. It's not financial advice. That's freaking common sense, common knowledge. Every financial advisor, everywhere you look. You listen to Dave Ramsey, diversification. Here in the stacking community, we talk about diversifying in the metals. You get some generics, you get some government issue, and you buy a few collectibles. You get bars, you get rounds, you get 10 ounce, 5 ounce. And speaking of the metals, this right here for UMU, this is a 100 ounce silver bar. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a Johnson Matthey, judging by the symbol right there that's stamped into it. That's a 100 ounce bar. But I hate to tell you, but that thing's not cheap. Most stackers in the community, they can't afford this. And that's sitting there on the backdrop. This one I'm not familiar with. I've seen it before, but I can't remember what it is. This is either a kilo bar or this is another 100 ounce. One of my viewers may recognize what that is if they're watching this video. That's either a kilo bar or a 100 ounce. If you look on here, he's got some odd toys and stuff. He does have a lot of magic stuff, but that's what he's into. Have no idea what these things are. He's got a few like collectible toys and different things out here. He's got some old books here. Those might be first editions. Books are highly collectible, especially people. You get into first editions and you get the right title, first edition, they're worth a lot of money. He started out this bookcase. It wasn't all. He's just kind of randomly putting shit on there, but all these books back here, I couldn't see the title in some of the older videos where it was just these with boxes of magic before he started adding all this other stuff. But those might be popular titles that are first editions. I have no idea. I'm just speculating here. But he's got book collection. He's got these older books right here. He's got the silver bars. He's got the paper currency. He's got the comic books. He's got the toys. And then his main focus is in magic cards. Like I said, I'm not here defending Rudy at Alpha Investments. But if you watch his channel, he lays out a good argument. He lays out such a good argument that, sorry to say this, UMU, but he lays out a better argument than most lawyers I've heard. And he does it he lays it out methodically. Now, whether he's right, whether he's wrong, I don't look at it in the card sense of it. I take what he's talking about to make his decisions on what cards to invest in or not invest in, or what he's putting back as far as sealed product. I could care less about the cards. I don't play. I don't collect them. I do have 3 sealed boxes that that I'm purchased and I put away for possible 5-year, the mid-range investment. I'll break them out, see what the prices are going. you know, if I see a 30, 40, 50% increase when I bring them out, hey, I'm willing to put them up for sale and take my money and go. Um, I'm not I'm not stacking away cases and cases or pallets of full of product like Rudy's doing here. But I just found some stuff, 3 boxes of stuff that was way under the current market value, about 50% below current market value. I picked them up. I don't have a lot of money in it. I'm not going to get rich off of it, that's for sure, but I just figured it couldn't hurt to put a few sealed boxes away. But I, I just don't understand. I've seen in our own community, you know, this guy's, slamming on Alpha Investments and his followers, and let's go back and look. Rudy's got, what, 363,000 followers. This guy's got 27, you know, and what are you going to do? You know, it just seems like he's unhappy that now that the market's fallen, he's looking to pass the blame on why his investments are tanking. He looks like he's got a really nice collection. I mean, I commend him. I mean, I don't know what those figures are back there, but he's got a really nice display. I mean, damn, that's nice, dude. I don't know what those are. I have absolutely no idea. But that's a really nice display of stuff right there. I will commend you on that. But when you're slamming another channel because what you're doing isn't working out like this other guy, I mean, come on, take a step back. Look at what's going on. Even in your own video, I don't think it was this video, another video, you were talking about how 2 big channels were trying to cancel you out because of something you said on their channel. And then you're coming back and you're slamming somebody. You're doing the same thing. You're slamming down on somebody who responded to your thing, to your video, and they're calling, you're slamming down on Rudy. They're kind of calling you out on it because they're seeing what I'm seeing. It seems like you have some jealousy that Rudy is doing really well, but you're giving up on your live streams and you're blaming it on Rudy followers. I mean, it's like it's like you're mad at somebody else because you're not doing as good as they are. I hope some of this makes sense. I'm just responding back, but buddy, I hate to tell you, I'm not losing money. I'm not losing money. I look at my investments. I do my research. I look at it. I understand that at any time, anything I'm invested in can take a downturn and drop like a hot rock. I mean, if you don't understand that simple little part right there, then don't be trying to invest to make money. Just enjoy it as a hobby. Just do your cards as a hobby. Stop trying to, if you're losing money because you started stocking up and trying to invest and thinking you're going to get rich, and that's part of it. I think a lot of people, the ones that they get on these big channels and they're like, oh, I'm going to do that. And, because they're making money. It's greed, buddy. Greed. Greed is what's screwing people up. They're looking for that quick buck. They're looking for that, oh, I dump all my money in this, let it sit for a year, let it sit for 2 years, and then I'll dump it back on the market, and I'll make 10 times my money, and I'll beat the odds. I hate to tell you, it doesn't work like that. There's, you know, Rudy might be doing it, but it sounds like you tried and it didn't work for you. And I'm sorry that it didn't work out. But are you like, is there something you're missing? Are you trying to emulate this guy? Are you trying to be like this guy? Are you trying to be like Rudy? Um, are you are you just not? Are you watching his videos and listening to? Are you actually listening, or are you looking at the backdrop? You know, are you looking at what's not being said? Are you reading between the lines? I mean, look at what's going on here. You know, look at this. Look at this right here. This, this, this right here. These things over here. Look around on this. This is the stuff Rudy doesn't talk about. It just appears on his. It just appears on his shelf and everything. Anyways, I've been in this 26 minutes. I'm gonna do a part 2. So stick around. As always, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. I'm curious to hear what this guy. I'm curious to hear what UMU is going to respond back to my video, and I will see y'all in part 2.